Hi friends, welcome to today's video. I wanted to start off kicking the channel off with my first video being a book haul. I am super excited to share everything that I got with you. I have bought these books over the past 2 weeks and I cannot wait to get more. I really should put myself on a book buying ban, but I have not done that yet. It's really hard for me to do that and then stay consistent with that and keep up with it. Cannot wait to buy more books, honestly, but I'm so excited to share these with you. I think I have around 15 or so today, and there's all genres from dark romance to regular fluffy romance, from some banned books that I wanted to get before they stopped being in print anymore and they stopped printing them, and some fantasy as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first two books that I have are gonna be in the dark romance category. The first book that I have is a part of a series. There is 2 books so far, and then there is a book that you're supposed to read before the 2, and it is the Cat and Mouse Duet. If you don't know, that is Zaid and Addie hunting Adeline. I have read the first book so far, and I'm actually gonna do a reread because I think I read it around a year or 2 ago. So I know a lot about it, but there is some bits and pieces that I'm missing, but I always just want to go back and reread it. I absolutely loved it when I did read it. And I got this book, and it is, you're supposed to read it before the other ones, but I have not. So I'm actually going to do that this time around when I reread the first book. And that is Satan's Affair by H.D. Carlton. Absolutely beautiful. And I know this book is about Sibby. If you don't know who Sibby is, she is a character that's introduced between the, I believe, middle to end-ish of the first book. I know she's a crazy bitch, and I cannot wait to hear from her perspective and her story and everything. Super exciting. And then second book that I got, I don't know a lot about. I did a little bit of research on TikTok and everything to see like the aesthetics of what the vibe is gonna be for the book and what it's a little bit about, but I don't know much. I don't want to spoil myself because I end up doing that. I do end up spoiling most books for myself because I tend to look into it before I read them. And I know it is about a girl and a boy who are in a mental asylum and they kind of fall in love. And that is The Fabric Art of Our Souls by K.M. Moranova. Absolutely beautiful cover as well. I love the detail on the flowers of the skulls. Here, it's absolutely gorgeous, and the writing, I love it. I know that I will probably get my heart broken by this book. I am a softie when it comes to those types of things, and from what I've heard, that is definitely going to happen with this, so I can't wait, but yeah. And then on to the more fluffier type of reads that I have. This is the first book in a series as well. I've heard so many good things about it from Sarah Caroli and Rachel Catherine. Those are booktubers that are on YouTube, and I absolutely love their videos. But the first book in the series is going to be Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I've heard such good things about this book, and I cannot wait to dive into the story of Magnolia and BJ. I know that I believe it takes place in London or the UK, I believe, and she keeps going back to her rebel boy BJ, but I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And the next book that I have is the first book that I have bought from this author. I've never read her more popular reads, but I cannot wait to dive into this one. I honestly don't know anything about this book except for the fact that if you're an older sister, which I am, I have a younger sister, then to read this book that you'll definitely connect with it, and it is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I don't honestly know anything about this, but I am so excited to read it. I do love going into blind with books because you just get more out of it and you really know your genuine reactions when you don't know much about it, I feel like. So I cannot wait to dive into this one. Some of these books are going to be in the banned category. I wanted to get these before they stopped printing them, and I've seen a lot of things on my TikTok about them not probably printing any and to go get them while you can. And I cannot wait. The first book, I don't know how to say the author's name, so I'm not going to say it. I don't want to butcher it by any means, but I do know it is about a murderer's point of view, and like the whole trial and everything like that, and it is Crime and Punishment. This is one of the, I think, second classic that I'm going to be reading. I cannot wait to dive into this one. The first classic that I have read is The Great Gatsby, which I do have behind me in my bookshelves. I absolutely love that book, and I think reading classic literature is the best because you really get to dive into the book more. I love true crime. I love everything. So really diving into the murderer's point of view is big, and it's crazy, and I can't wait to get into it. Second book that I have from the banned book list. I don't know anything about this book. I'm gonna be straight up honest. Have no idea. I just know it's a classic and I wanted to buy it. The cover is absolutely beautiful, and that is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. The third book that I have is going to be, I know a little bit about it, but not much. I think one of the classes in my high school, I think they've read this, but I know mine didn't at the time. We read The Great Gatsby, which is how I came to read and absolutely love The Great Gatsby. And I can't wait to read this one as well. And it is 1984 by George Orwell. This is the 75th anniversary edition. Now, I do have some other books that I need to get, like Animal Farm. I want to get The Crucible and Dracula and Frankenstein and all of that, and I cannot wait to grab those. And then the last book in the banned book section I bought is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Now, I know a little bit about this, but I don't know much. I know that it is about a girl who has an affair with her husband. I believe she has a child with that man, but I'm not too 100% sure, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But I cannot wait to get into this book. I have about 5 more books left, and these are going to be in the fantasy category. Now, the first 2 that I have are in a series, and I know that it has the fantasy, mystical, darkness to it, but I don't know much about it. And it is One Dark Window and 2 Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Here's 1 and 2. I really want to try and get into more fantasy this year. I have a lot of fantasy books. My TBR is, I could do a video about my TBR, and it's going to be probably all these books on my shelves. I maybe read 60 so far, and I have so many. I have another bookshelf that's actually in the entryway to my apartment, and it's filled with fantasy books. I have ACOTAR, I have Throne of Glass series, and I have not read any of those so far. So I'm really gonna try and get into that this year. I am definitely a mood reader, so it kind of depends on my mood for sure. But I always want to buy these just in case, because if I see a TikTok or if I see a video or something on it, and at the time I'm like, oh my God, it's so good, then I'll go buy it, even though I'm probably not gonna read it for a couple months, just in case that whenever I am ready, I do already have it, so I don't have to worry about it later on. Next book I have is a book that is kind of old. It is a young adult about, I think, werewolves and a girl. I don't know much about this. First book in the Shiver series by Maggie Stiefvater. And I only bought the first book so far because I'm going to read this and then get the other ones as I go, because I went to Half Price Books actually to buy this, and they only had the first book. So that's also why, but I can't wait to get into this. I know that whenever I was a teenager, I had always seen this on book reviews and everything, and I just didn't read it at the time, but I'm so excited that I got my hands on it now. And then the next book I have, I know this is the first book in the series as well. It has like the pirate theme going on. This is going to be Daughter of the Pirate King. And I only got the first book. I know that they have Daughter of the Siren Queen, and it's the second one. I've heard so many good things about this, and I cannot wait to get into it. And then the last book that I have here, I've actually read this already, but I got rid of my copy because it is hardback. I know that is probably a stupid reason to get rid of a book, but I absolutely love paperbacks. I would rather wait for the paperback to come out and buy the paperback than actually get the hardcover. I've always been that way. I think they're easier to read. And I'm so glad that I found this one at Half Price Books. And it is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kremer. I know that it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it is amazing. A little bit darker than the original, and obviously there's things that are changed, names that are changed and everything. But this is so good. I've only read this one. I have not read the second or the third one, but I cannot wait to read those. And those are actually the next books that I'm gonna get, and I'm actually going to reread this one as well, because I loved it so much. I know that it was great, and I also want to annotate it. Well, that concludes my book haul for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching and clicking on the video. I promise I will post more soon because this is the first video of the channel. So thank you for staying, and like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.